How can I have a
Yeah, and yeah.
How can I have a conversation with you about why you voted for Donald Trump when you literally can't name one policy and you can't even give me one fair criticism of Kamala Harris?
I just wanted to provide a little perspective on why I voted for Trump, and just get your opinion.
Okay.
I seem like I feel like I'm a bit like you are. I think that you're an independent. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I used to be part of the Democratic Party and was really interested in Howard Dean back in 2004. I don't know if you remember back then, but it was anybody but Bush. And I was so driven for Howard Dean and was out canvassing for him in some of the states to try to get him
Mike,
elected.
I appreciate that history. I do, but just for time constraints, my friend, if that's okay, tell me why you voted for Trump.
Well, okay, so I'd like to bring you back to something that Woodrow Wilson said. And I don't know if you're able to look it up on your end there, but it starts off with, "I'm a most unhappy man." Have you ever heard that quote from him?
I haven't, and with respect, I want to hear from you, not Woodrow. Well, with respect, let's have a conversation. Tell me, what
Okay.
was it about Kamala Harris that made you say to yourself, I would rather vote for a 34 count felon liable abuser? What was it that was so bad about Harris that you wanted this guy?
Well, that's why I go back to this quote, and why I think the history is really important is because I think perspective has really been thrown off. You know, we are just a series of perceptions. Where do we get those perceptions? We get those perceptions from the media that we take in, or the information that we take in.
What went through your
And
mind
I
on
think it's
January 6th?
a terrible day.
Why would you vote for the guy that lied about the 2020 election? And that we all know that's why January 6th happened. Why would you vote for that?
Well, because to me, that's where I think exactly what I'm trying to get back to on this quote is because what Woodrow Wilson was
No,
pointing
but
back to.
Mike,
Go ahead.
I'm not trying to interrupt you, and I appreciate. I'm not trying to be rude, Mike. I'm
Yeah,
asking you, the human being, Mike. You sound like a nice guy. Police
yeah,
officers were beaten that day. He lied about the
yeah.
2020 election. I'm just asking you, what was so bad about Kamala Harris that you were willing to put aside what took place on January 6th? You were willing to put aside the fact that he bragged about going into teenage locker rooms. You were willing to put aside the fact that he had the biggest tax breaks for the top 1% and that he's a 34 count felon. What was it about Kamala Harris that was so bad that you said, I'm okay voting for this guy? That's what I'm trying to figure out you, not a quote from, Winston Churchill. So tell me, Mike, the human being, what is it about Harris that was so bad? I just want to try to understand you, Mike. That's all.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you trying to get down to that.
Yeah.
So exactly what's there for me is just the establishment. And that's kind of why I brought up Howard Dean, was because they told us in 2004 that
Howard Dean wasn't running. I'm asking you specifically with respect. Kamala Harris.
yeah,
What was it
yeah,
about? That's a general statement you're making about the establishment. I want
yeah.
specifics. What was it about Harris that you didn't like? Give me a policy. Give me some policies that you like from Trump that you didn't like that Harris proposed. I'm trying to get to
Well,
specifics, not generalizations. You understand what I'm saying, Mike?
yeah, and I would like to just get to history if I possibly can. Like
Mike,
specifically what's there.
Mike.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
trying to be
Yep.
Mike. I'm trying to be patient with you. You keep going back
I
to
appreciate
history.
that.
You keep going back to
Yeah,
history and quotes. I'm not
yeah,
asking you that question. What I am asking you
yeah.
for, okay, I'll make it easier for you, Mike. It doesn't sound like to me you want to criticize Kamala Harris, which I find interesting, but let's talk about Donald Trump. Give me some positives. What has he done in the last 5 or 6 months that you like?
Well, what's there for me with Trump is that Trump is an outsider. Trump is not
That's
part of the
that's not a
establishment, or at
policy.
least
That's a
I
generalization. That's your opinion. I'm asking you about a specific policy. What do you mean not an outsider? We can have a felon come in there that's not an outsider. We could have a serial murderer that's an out. I mean, that's a general statement. Well, he's an outsider. Give me something specific that he's done, not a character trait in your opinion. What has he done in the last 5 or 6 months where you could say to yourself, man, I'm really happy I voted for that guy?
well, because he's the one that stands up to the establishment. He's the
That's
one that
another
reaches out
general.
and says,
Okay, so you're just going to give me, Mike, you're just going to give me generalizations. You can't name me one policy that you like under Donald Trump. All you're doing is
well,
giving me generalizations. Be specific. Why did you vote for him? Give me a policy. All I hear from you, Mike, I'm trying to be patient with you, but all I hear from you is generalization, establishment, outsider. Those are generalizations. I need you to be specific. What is it about Kamala Harris you didn't like about her policies? What is it about Donald Trump? Name me a policy you like. I don't think that's a unfair question I'm asking you. You ask me policies I liked about Harris, I would tell you. Tell me what policies you like under Trump.
Okay. I apologize. I know that you're reaching and wanting me to answer your question, and I'm just trying to get a perspective that's outside your normal talking points.
So what do I say that's a talking point?
Well, I mean, you're very smart, you're very articulate, and you're very up to date on current facts.
Okay, thank
and
you.
things like that.
That's not. So what do I say
Yeah.
that's a talking point? You said I have talking
And I like
points.
the fact that I also like the fact that you're independent. I like the fact that you
Okay.
think like independently.
I appreciate,
and
Mike.
won't necessarily just vote for
I
Democrats.
appreciate you saying that, but with respect, I'm not bringing up talking points. Okay, these what is going on right now with us in a war in Iran is an ill-advised war. The war in Ukraine is still going strong. Right now, they're talking about this alligator Alcatraz. Meanwhile, people in Texas are still missing. Over 100 people have lost their lives. He's gutted the NOAA. He's pardoned people who beat police officers on January 6th. He's called them hostages and patriots. And I'm not getting anything from you. I'm just getting generalizations. Why can't you name me some things you like that he's done? When you say, well, he's an outsider, so what? What does that matter? Give me the results. What has he done in the first 6 months that you like? It's a very fair question, and I've asked it like 7 times, man. I'm trying to be patient with you. Can you not name me? Can you not name me one policy you like? Just tell me if you can't.
You are being patient, and I do feel like I could talk about some policies.
Well, tell me. Give me one. Then give me one.
Well, what I'm trying to get to is something different.
Okay, well, name me a policy. You just said you could, so name me one. Name me a policy you like.
I just think that you are old enough to also see.
I'm not interested in your history lessons. Give me a policy that you like. You just said you could name policies. Can you name me a policy? I've now asked you like 10 times. How can I have a conversation? How can I have a conversation with you about why you voted for Donald Trump when you literally can't name one policy and you can't even give me one fair criticism of Kamala Harris? I don't want to hear, with respect, sir, about Winston Churchill quotes or about history. I want to know, why is it you voted for a 34-count felon, liable abuser who is ruining this country? You can't name me one policy. Please, I'm asking you again for the last time. Name me one policy you like under Donald Trump. Please, sir, please. I'm begging you.
Okay. Well, I apologize. I feel like I've wasted your time. But
you have.
Thanks for having me on.
You have wasted my time, Mike. You have wasted my time. You laugh and you think it's funny. You can't name one policy you like under Donald Trump, and you want to give me a history lesson on some Winston Churchill quote? You are Donald Trump's base. You've wasted my time, and guess what? People like you have ruined this country because idiots like you voted for Donald Trump. You can't name one policy you like under Donald Trump. Not one. Oh, well, he's not part of the establishment. Oh, well, he's an outsider. So what? Name me some things that he's done that you think are good for the country, and then I'll name you some things he's done that I think are bad for the country. I can't even have a conversation with you people. You're so ignorant, I can't even have a conversation with you. Donald Trump's base, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Mike is Donald Trump's base. Can't name one policy he likes. How embarrassing.